Hello and welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. I decided to do a walkthrough of an older deck. I've had it for a number of years now, and I'm sure many of you have seen it. But I'm going through my collection a deck at a time and putting them up regardless of how old they are. This one for me is a classic. Came out from US Games in 2003. It's called the GoldenTarot by Cat Black. Comes in a really hefty little box, sturdy, nice box. It's almost like wood, it's so substantial. And you can even flip the lid around if you like, which I like. Doesn't matter which way you have it on there. There's a sun on this side and smaller letters and bolder letters on that side. I like this image. Not as keen on this image. This deck is, I would call it an art deck, but it's historic art from the late Middle Ages and early Renaissance. And the difference between this and a lot of other art decks is these are not redrawn or repainted from original works. These are actually computer collaged from actual paintings from those eras, and really well done. You look at each card and they actually look like they may have been originally painted that way. She did a great job with it. It comes with a really hefty little book. I don't know why people tell you how many pages there are in the book. The pages are kind of heavy. Oh, it's 180 or so, 198 pages, but there's not a whole lot of information on each page, but it does have black and white illustrations of each of the cards. It starts off with an explanation about digital collage and her interest in creating the deck. There's several card spreads, and then it goes through a card at a time. And along with each picture, it describes elements that are depicted in the story of that picture, followed by about a paragraph of meaning, and then a couple lines or a few keywords for reversed positions. That takes up the bulk of the book. And then in the back, this is really wonderful. She devotes a huge section on the sources for each card, because even though it's not readily apparent when you look at the cards that they're made up, you know, it's like I said, it's digital collage, but you don't know how many sources she pulled different elements from because it's so well done. She lists every source from each card, and the painter, the school they were from, the year it was painted, where it's located. I mean, if you're an art historian, you will appreciate this. It's really an amazing little jaunt through art history. And I don't think too many purists would be upset looking at this deck. Comes with that's the card back. It's a nice little card back, brownish, sort of yellow ochre kind of tones. There's a little descriptor on there. GoldenTarot is a compilation of collages from artwork of the late Middle Ages and early Renaissance, poignant images of gentle beauty and human frailty from a time of violence, pestilence, and oppression. These images speak to me of a truth that is timeless and hope that flowers even in the darkest conditions. And there's a little title card, which is handsome. The deck is gilt-edged. Gorgeous gilding on the edges. Beautiful. Let me just see how quickly I can get through these images for you. The Fool. The Magician. Love that. The High Priestess. The Empress. And unlike a lot of other historic looking decks, this is not a pip deck. Each and every card is fully illustrated. So for those of you who really like classic art imagery but don't want a pip deck, this may just be the deck for you. The colors are beautiful. Mostly kind of what I want to say earthy autumn colors. Golds, browns, reds. Not so much in the way of blues or greens. I haven't had this deck out to look at in a while, but I'm glad I brought it out again. It's a joy to behold. The Devil. Tower. Now the Wands. I reorganized these, but I didn't double check with the book to see that I put the suits in particular order. I just sequenced each of the suits. It's very much in the Rider-Waite-Smith system. So if you're used to that system, you won't even need to refer to the book. You'll know perfectly well how to read these cards. Beautiful, beautiful images. Swords, Ace of Swords. The majors had little Roman numerals at the top of the card. They all have labels at the bottom in very pleasing font choice. In black with the initials in red. Easy to read, but perfectly paired with the design The borders mirror the back, sort of gold ochre kind of borders. The cardstock is more or less matte. It's not really glossy. I don't know if you'd call them semi-gloss. It looks fairly matte to me. There's a little bit of a sheen, but not much. They feel really thick. I don't know how thick these cards are. Could be a 350. The box is much thicker than a usual tarot deck, but then the box also houses that thick booklet. The coins, instead of pentacles. Yeah, I love the traditional old illustrations. Well, these are from paintings. A lot of the other older decks are from engravings or, I guess they're engravings or wood blocks. But as beautiful as the pip decks are, pips just don't read to me. You know, I would have to be dragging out the book every 5 minutes to figure out what they meant, and I wouldn't enjoy it. I like it when each card has the elements in it to tell its own story. And cups. There is some religious imagery in here with angels and whatnot, but no more so than is indicative of the paintings from those eras. I love this Seven of Cups. I think that was likely from the Shroud of Turin, but they've replaced the Jesus's face with 7 cups. I'm only guessing, of course. I haven't looked it up in the book, but it's what it looks like to me. There are a few Virgin Marys and baby Jesuses. The fashion wardrobes are quite ornate and interesting in of themselves with regards to fashion from those times. Beautiful Queen of Cups coloring. And the King of Cups. So sorry if you've seen that before, but maybe you liked having to look at it again, or if it was your first time, I hope you enjoyed these. And as far as I know, they've been in print for ages. It's still in print. You could still get a hold of a copy. Don't forget to, if you enjoyed this, to click like, subscribe, and ring the bell for updates from my channel in the future. Till next time, bye-bye.